Honorable Men Discord. Is Chrisean Rock running from a dark secret? Let's talk about it.
How you see yourself is how you perceived. I see a man strong, gifted, head strapping, never down on his knees, begging. Gotta make a way, even in my darkest hour. Say the odds against me was new. I would never cower.
As always, welcome back to another episode. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I drop episodes daily at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So now I came across this, and it made me dive in further into what was going on with this past relationship. Now, I was aware of Chrisean Rock having a baby, but I didn't know all the backstory to it until recently when I looked into it, right? So I'm going to play this video and I'm going to talk about it further.
Very real possibility that Chrisean Rock could be getting arrested for murder very soon. The same day Chrisean Rock announced that she's moving out the country, we learned that homicide detectives have taken an interest in Chrisean Rock and they're asking people questions about her.
The country. Let's talk about that.
Oh yeah, child. I'm moving out the country.
But we're
moving out the country. Look, we ain't gonna tell y'all details, but we're moving out the country.
Yeah,
we're moving out the country. Oh my
in
God.
how many months?
Yeah.
I'm excited.
For real. Yep.
Yep, we're moving out. I got my suitcase with me.
I want to tell y'all so many details. Why you just do that?
You posted it.
Let's rewind a little bit so you guys got the full context. Chrisean Rock has an ex-boyfriend called Ronnie. When Chrisean Rock got pregnant, Ronnie popped up and said the baby was his. Chrisean Rock said the baby was Blueface. Blueface to this day said the baby belongs to Ronnie and is not his. Well, Ronnie took Chrisean Rock to court to prove the baby was his.
In the next 4 to 6 weeks, God willing, Chrisean is going to be required to do a court-ordered paternity test. And once we get this paternity test, we shall have more insight.
Ronnie also pulled up on Chrisean Rock in person when she came to Baltimore, demanding that she gives him a paternity test so he can figure out whether or not Chrisean Jr. is his kid or not.
Right here, Junior right here.
Can you chill out?
You weird as shit. You weird as shit.
What's wrong?
You weird as shit. Nobody stalking you. That's my son. That's my son. That's my son. What you want to do?
Excuse me.
What do you want to do?
I'm calling the car.
I don't give a call him. Nobody touch you.
Go to the car.
Call him.
Go.
Yeah.
Go. Calling the car.
Police ass. You a police ass.
Time to go.
You a police ass.
Time to go.
You a police ass.
Sir,
Police ass.
excuse me.
Police bitch.
Excuse me.
You a bitch.
Excuse me. I need you out the.
Nigga. Okay.
I need you out the mall, man.
Okay.
Let's go this one. Let's go this one. Let's go.
But here's the thing. We never actually found out whether or not Ronnie was the baby father or not, because a week before the court hearing to decide on whether or not Chrisean Rock has to give Ronnie a paternity test, Ronnie was shot and killed in a very mysterious fashion.
Yes, you heard right. We just got the update. So apparently, there had been some money on Ronnie's head since Friday. What's today? Tuesday. So since Friday, apparently somebody put some money on his head. Somebody wanted him dead. And y'all, I found out exactly how it happened. So one of the neighbors says that Ronnie was sitting in his car outside his house when all of a sudden this car pulled up behind him. A person gets out the car. He didn't realize that they had a gun or whatever. They ran up on the car real quick, y'all. They shot him 10 times. Not only was he shot 10 times, nobody even came to check on him for at least 10 minutes. So if there was a chance that he could have been saved, and within those first 10 minutes, it wouldn't have happened because nobody even came to check on him until after 10 minutes. The neighbor says that he heard it, but of course he didn't want to come out immediately because that's gunshots. So he waited about 10 minutes, make sure the coast is clear. Then he went to check. He said he tried to lay Ronnie down on his side. He said he was shot up everywhere. He said it was blood coming all out of his body. And basically he died right there. There was no way he was going to be saved. It was too late, y'all. So whoever this was, they wanted this done quickly.
That theory lines up with the possibility that Chrisean Rock may have put a hit on Ronnie to avoid the court-ordered paternity test before the last court hearing. Now, here's the thing. It gets weirder. Chrisean Rock owns biological sister. Came on Jason Lee's podcast and implied and hinted and said Chrisean Rock did it without saying Chrisean Rock did it.
Chrisean's baby, there was a guy online from Baltimore who was claiming to be her baby dad. He ended up getting murdered, right?
Yes.
He really did get murdered? I mean, I saw that online. That was real?
Yes, that was.
And you knew, did you know him?
So yes, I fed that boy.
How did he end up getting murdered? Was he in the streets, in the stuff, or was that just a random thing?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I can't even speak on it. But if I was to speak on it, it don't look too good for certain people that we know. So I'm not going to speak on it. Like,
well,
I don't know.
It's just all, there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I'm not the police, but I'll just leave it at that. Well, I'll say a little bit. He ran up on Chrisean when she was out in public.
He did, and then he had a paternity test coming up or something.
And then it was all online.
And then it was pow, pow, pow. No paternity test. I'm sorry. Rest in peace, his soul.
That's sad.
It's very sad, especially because I fed him. We had a little argument before. It's just like we were family. I'm gonna be honest. That little boy really loved that.
Did he?
Me being real, all this camera we back in the streets. We back around the way. That little boy loved that.
So they were a thing.
It was passionate, but it was giving cloudy.
It was.
And that's why I just don't care to speak on it.
Yeah.
That's Chrisean Rock's biological sister. So if she gets to say, hey, man, I can't say what I want to say because it's going to get somebody we know in trouble, but, hey, I heard there was going to be a paternity test, then pop, then there's no paternity test. That's her clearly saying Chrisean Rock got Ronnie murdered to avoid the paternity test that was supposed to happen, like a week later. This is going to be the last court hearing. Now, when Chrisean Rock was asked about this, Chrisean Rock says the trolling that Ronnie did with her and Blueface got him in a grave, and then quickly switches up and says, oh no, he died because of his street beef. And I always thought this was odd.
When you saw your sister insinuated, she didn't say it, but she insinuated that you had something to do with Ronnie Doe, his death.
It's like a punch, a grab. Like she probably, her interview was probably so boring that she had to make something like, that's the only thing that got clipped, was talking about me. What else got clipped? We did not give a What else did you ask her?
She said she would beat Clarissa up in a boxing match.
Whoop-de-doo. That's it? That's all y'all talked about?
I can't remember everything else.
Exactly. When I cut off Ronnie, I just started seeing this side of him. He wanted clout chase for him. So, he did paid interviews. He tried to push his music, all type of shit. He seen how Blueface ran the circus, so he tried to run his own. And then ran himself into a grave. That had nothing to do with me. He was already beefing with people in the streets because of what he did.
What he did to you?
No, what he was already doing.
In the streets?
Yeah. If that was to really to be an option of a father, not like that, but his family is like a real good family. He come from a good family. His mother, he got his mother, his grandmother, his sisters, and his aunt. They all spoil him because he's the only boy in that bloodline. So they would have worshipped my little like that. I don't know. It would have been better off having a baby with him than Blue, to be honest. But he knew it wasn't his baby. He wouldn't even did that. He did that because he was just tripping.
You can't really call what she said a confession by any means, but just her saying, oh, he trolled himself to the grave. Well, he wasn't trolling the street dudes online. If he had street beef, we didn't know about it because he wasn't trolling them online. The only person he was trolling online was Chrisean Rock. So for her to say he trolled himself to the grave, to me, that right there may have been the closest thing to her just saying, I did it. But Blueface was also asked about this when he got out of jail and did Jason Lee. Now, when Blueface did Jason Lee, Blueface revealed that Chrisean Rock and Ronnie was actually on the phone the night that Ronnie passed away. Now, he would also claim that Chrisean Rock is a setup artist because she also has dropped his low before, so he wouldn't be surprised if she's involved.
So when I seen that, I already knew that it was bogus.
So Tasiki was here on the show. We interviewed her, and I think she said she kind of like hinted that she thought Chrisean may have had something to do with Ronnie dying. What do you think about that?
I don't know about that. To be honest, I don't know anything about that. All I know is she said that he called her. They were in contact before this happened. That's the only red flag I could see. Somebody comes out and says, hey, before this person died, they called me. And this and that. That's just kind of like,
Well, because you said she's a setup artist. So
that's what from my knowledge, yeah, she's known to give addresses and do things in the spur of the moment, be very impulsive. That's from my knowledge. Now, as far as him calling her and them talking the night he died,
safe to say things already was not looking good for Chrisean Rock at all. People around her, her own sister is saying, man, she kind of did it. Blueface is saying, man, she kind of did it. Chrisean Rock, had that mishaps, had that slip up. She's like the number one prime suspect who had the motivation to do this. Well, a man have came forward today, and when it was already looking bad for Chrisean Rock, it just got worse. See, this man have came forward and said that police have approached him about, like Ronnie's homicide and Ronnie's murder, because right now the murder is still unsolved. The man that says police has approached him about this murder, and they continue to badger him and ask him about Chrisean Rock and his relationship to Chrisean Rock.
Major, let me tell you. So tell me why the homicide detectives came knocking on my door yesterday. And I'm scheduled to talk to them Monday. It's real. No cap. No plan. I don't need play like, I don't need play with the police. It's serious. It's real serious. It's so serious right now, Major. It ain't even a game.
First off, don't tell me you don't play with the police, but then you agreed to voluntarily go and talk to the police about a homicide investigation.
Well, I'm going to stop that right. I'm going to stop this right here. I played it in length. I'll be honest, I did not watch this entire video to know that he was just going to just talk all the way through. Yes, it's insightful. But what I wanted to point out with Ronnie, first of all, Ronnie, who passed away. Let me get this. Give me one moment. So Ronnie, whose real name is Karan Ronnie Doe Kane, or Can, he passed away February 3rd of 2025 at the age of 24. He resided in Maryland, which he and Chrisean Rock are both from Maryland, to my understanding. It was a fatal shooting, as was mentioned. But I think the worst thing in this whole story, which is why I decided to cover this, is not even so much about Chrisean Rock and her possible involvement in this, but it's the fact that what I want you gentlemen to understand is that when you pour into women that never really cared about you, you saw the signs, right? You saw the signs, but you ignored it because you were in love with that person, and you knew they didn't love you back wholeheartedly. This woman, Chrisean, the one thing I know about her as an outsider, I don't know her personally, is that she was infatuated with Blueface. That's the only thing that I knew about her, and I knew of her because of the tattoo she had of him. So in the thumbnail, you see she has a photo. It looks like that was Blueface on her neck, as well as she ended up putting him on her cheek as well. Now, if I'm wrong about that being Blueface's face on her neck, let me know in the comment section. But when I saw other photos of it, it looked like it was Blueface on her neck, and I know she had Blueface on her cheek as well. I know she removed one of them, if not both of them. Maybe she did a cover-up. I don't follow her like that. I just recently saw her on the stream with Adrian Broner and Dean, and she was boxing and things like that, and Dean wasn't giving her no type of attention and so on and so forth. But I think the craziest thing in all of this, and I'm not going to continue playing his video because he pretty much, I don't want to make this about, benefiting off of his video. I pieced together some stuff. The craziest thing about all of this is this guy, Ronnie, seemed to genuinely care about the well-being of the baby. So on one hand, you have situations out there where women feel as though guys don't step up to the plate. But this man wanted to be involved in the child's life. Not only did he want to be in the child's life, but he was there during the birth of the child. Blueface, I don't know if Blueface was locked up during that time, and then because what happened was Blueface, well, I should say Chrisean was dealing with both of them to a degree. So, but I don't know if Blueface was locked up at the time, but Blueface was not there. A matter of fact, I think Blueface in the interview said that he wasn't even aware that she was giving birth. So I think Blueface was actually out at the time. But with any event, it was Ronnie that was at the hospital for this child's birth. And look at how she was treating him after the fact. Again, when you're pouring into certain people, certain women, they will just like, if they don't respect you, they're going to disrespect you the way that he was disrespected up until his passing. But I'm going to play a few things of just how highly he spoke of her. All right.
This is when I knew she was wicked. Not wicked, but just not for me. So one day I took her to school. I dropped her off. Next thing I know, I get a phone call. Somebody telling me like, bro, didn't you just drop your girl off at school? I'm like, yeah, what's going on? Flip the camera, show me her and one of her old little boyfriends running around. So that was a red flag for me because I didn't have to wake up that early. I woke up to take you to school, which is in my eyes a sacrifice and a characteristic way of showing love. Mm-hmm. So you disregard that by chilling with your ex, whatever. It's not a problem, but for me, it was just like, I'm doing so much for you, and you still doing so least for me.
Did you confront her about it?
No, it's not no point. She's a liar.
You ain't say shit to her? Like, bitch, I just took you to school and you would've...
No. Mm-mm.
What'd you do, ignore it?
I didn't ignore it. I just waited to play my cards accordingly.
Let me say something. Again, when you pour into women that don't really care about you, her focus was Blueface and Blueface only. She didn't care that he was a good guy. As a matter of fact, it was clear just from listening to this scenario he pointed out, he was a doormat to her, respectfully. I say that respectfully. He was a doormat to her, and it's so unfortunate that this man really, I mean, that clip, he wasn't speaking highly about her, but he spoke highly about how he cared about her because he was, the things he was doing for her, despite the fact that she wasn't that interested. And he was there before, you know, Blueface, and this is the way, you know, it ended. Now, I'm not saying he's perfect. I don't know their relationship, but it just shows you that, listen, what would have been so wrong about her finding out that he was the biological father when you know that he was willing to take care of the baby, as opposed to the opposite of that, the man that she was infatuated with, and she, to this day, at this time, she'll play as though she doesn't really care about Blueface anymore, but she cared enough to have him tatted on her face, right? And cared enough to claim that the junior, her only son, her only boy, belonged to Blueface, right? Which is so odd. But listen to this.
To be famous that bad that she's willing to disregard Junior's biological father to attach him to Blue in hopes of staying relevant, in hopes of staying famous. She wants to be famous that bad that...
So he thinks that, you know, he thought that because of Blueface at the time, his notoriety, she latched on to Blueface because she saw that as a possibility of stardom for herself, because she was trying to find her way with music. And whatever it was, she was infatuated by him. She put the man's face on her cheek, on her face. She put the man's image on her face. I mean, at that point, you know, you lost the battle. If you didn't lose the battle already with the way she was treating you, you lost the battle. I'm not knocking Ronnie at all, because Ronnie was trying to be in the kid's life. All right? So I'm not knocking him for this. What I am saying is take this as a lesson that, when you see the signs, just take heed of the signs. Now, the son that she has was born in September of 2023, and when you look it up on the internet, it says this is the baby she had with Blueface, but it hasn't been proven because when he was trying to get the paternity test done, as mentioned in the first video, he lost his life, ironically, right? So let me see some other things I have here. I'm gonna skip over something. So I apologize for the music. What I wanted you to read below was Blueface saying that he believes that the child is Ronnie's child. All right. I know I said I was going to play all of these things, but I think what matters most is the takeaway of, again, taking heed the signs. This is Ronnie in the hospital with Chrisean when she gave birth to her only son, the only boy. Okay.
When we get to wash him up, when his first bed? Tomorrow? He's dirty now. He's so cute, y'all. When we get to
Now, I know they don't show Ronnie in this video, but you can look up an interview where Whack 100, I believe he might have been on Vlad TV. Whack 100 confirms it was either Vlad TV or No Jumper, but Whack 100 confirmed that Ronnie was at the hospital when she gave birth. And again, look at the way he was treated. All right, she didn't want him in her life. Now, this now makes sense to me when she was so passionate. And I'm not saying that she's behind his passing, but honestly, it's not looking good for her, which is why when I saw the clip from the first video, I decided to dive into this. When this became viral with her crying and people making jokes and memes about this, I said to myself, like, she must have gone through a lot of pain. This could be pain of knowing that you have a secret, and this is guilt. All right.
I'm crying out to God to help me with these hard times. Don't want no drama, so I'm throwing up the peace signs. Was locked away, but I finally found me some peace of mind. He picked me up from the bottom and then he changed my life. And now I'm singing Yahweh, Yahweh. There's only one way in the sky's way. Yahweh, Yahweh. I'm crying out to God to help me with.
Yeah. Listen. I'm going to keep close watch to this, but gentlemen, I know I didn't play everything that's queued up here, but I don't even think it's necessary. You know when you're not appreciated. You know when it seems as though you're fighting for the attention of the person that you love. Just don't do it to yourself. And I'm not even saying an outcome like this is bound to happen. You just never know based on who you're dealing with. That's not the takeaway. The takeaway is just don't do it to yourself. Don't break your heart. I mean, if the person you're with is not showing you love and you end up impregnating that person, obviously, I could understand if you take the same approaches as Ronnie did to try to find out if that is in fact your child. I mean, I don't believe in that case Ronnie did anything wrong. And I think it was honorable that he was trying to find out so they could take care of his child when there's men out there that avoid taking care of their children, which is what makes this story so sad and disturbing because, being shot and not being able to be there for the baby is foul. And we may never know whether or not it is his child because she would have to take a paternity test, I believe. And I don't think she plans on doing that, right? I don't think she plans on doing that. And again, all her focus was on Blueface. I don't even know what to think about this, man. And this just happened last year, as I mentioned. He lost his life last year. May he rest in peace, and may justice be found for whoever is behind this. And if it is that she's behind it, then she's gonna have to pay the price for it. There's no other way around it. There's no other way around it. His family lost an only son, and the baby lost a potential father, because he seemed like the type of person that would have been in the child's life regardless, to a degree, had she been the type of woman to at least allow that a conversation or an opportunity for that to happen. But sad story. What's your thoughts on all this? Listen, as always, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I drop episodes daily at 5 p.m. Eastern time, and as always, stay honorable.